Let's read this first story. We have this from the Daily Mail. Louisville Democratic candidate for mayor shot at in attempted assassination at his office, but escapes uninjured. Cops probe whether politician was targeted because he is Jewish. Now, that's the gist of the story. They say that someone fired at the campaign office. This candidate Craig Greenberg had his clothing grazed by the bullet. Fortunately, everybody is safe. And this may not be anything other than a crazy person because we don't know yet. However, I believe there was a member of the city council who said this was an assassination attempt. So apparently somebody has been taken into custody. The investigation is ongoing. There's concerns here because as things get more and more intense in the culture war and with, conflict between Trump, with the Durham investigation, with the January 6th committee, people become less and less trusting. So some feel like maybe this is just some mayor of a city in the U.S., not even one of the biggest cities, but a big city for sure. It's a big city. And it's just a publicity stunt or, a false flag or some other, whatever. But I don't know. I don't fall into those. I genuinely think that you've got a lot of people out there, a lot of people. Some of those people are crazy and some of those people can be driven to extreme acts because they're unwell. So I'll just say this. I hope this is it. I hope there's nothing more to this. But the reason I think this story was important to lead with was as we get more and more news about the political conflict escalation, Adam Kinzinger just came out last week and said targeted assassinations are coming if there's going to be a new civil war. And then he said to Wolf Blitzer, I think it was Blitzer on CNN, that we would be naive not to think a civil war was coming. Of course, it's a trope at this point, Tim Pool mentioning it, because I've been talking about it for some time. But when I see a story like this after Kinzinger says targeted assassinations and then a Democrat candidate gets shot at, I'm kind of like, was he right?
Yeah, are we on our way? I mean, we should be able to all universally condemn this, right, and say this is it's a terrible act, and we're happy that no lives were lost. But I do think you're smart to say let's not jump into speculation too much because we don't know all of the facts. But yeah, a terrible action. Glad the person was caught, right? You said that they had caught the person. A suspect was caught, and that's important, right? It looks like the cops did their job, so that's good. But
it could be nothing. It's
hope it's
someone matching a description, and for all we know, they're like, it was some random guy.
The fact that it's a mayoral race just leads me to believe it could just be random. And the fact that they're just speculating, saying it could be because he's Jewish, I don't know. Yeah,
I thought maybe it could be mob related, like he owed somebody money. There's so many ifs.
See, that seems like more of a reach than
mob related.
Yeah.
I don't know. A guy borrows money to try and win a campaign, and then he's not paying up, or he's, here you go. Yeah. He borrows money now that he's in the race, and he has a change of heart, and he says, I can't go through with this. The people need me. And then they're like, if you back out on us, we're coming for you. See that? But I agree. That sounds crazy. Like, what's the scary thing is a political assassination seems to me to be the most plausible outcome. Yeah. That somebody is just like the Democrats are crazy and awful and something like that.
It's really a testament to humanity because you're right. It's not like that's hard. It's like driving. Every day we drive these 2,000-pound things past each other at 100 miles an hour and just
you be driving
car after car. Well, 50 miles in both directions. So it's like car after car after car. And we just trust. And we live in trust. And we don't veer over and ram. But you could. That's the crazy thing is people could. It's easy to fail in reality and easy to go haywire. It's challenging, but we do it so well. We stay on the level so well.
I don't believe any of the false flag stuff. A lot of people think, well, I'll say this first. Assassination attempts really, really help candidates. It's kind of creepy and awful that it's the case. But it rallies people. You get a victim narrative. So I think for that reason, people would suspect a politician of trying to stage something like this to generate press. But I just really don't think, it is like winning the lottery 10 times in a row. Yeah. To get the circumstances where a politician's going to be like, okay, after you shoot me, like, nah, this guy, the bullet grazed his clothing. I don't think this guy wanted it. I don't even like entertaining the idea, but there are people who absolutely are curious about whether they trust them or not. But I'll add one more thing. That's kind of how crazy it is politically that people would assume a politician would actually stage something like that.